Hi, welcome to this tutorial on how to update and include missing packages in MikTeX, a LaTeX distribution. On the desktop, you see Technique Center. In case you don't know how to install Technique Center, please go through my spoken tutorial on installing and running LaTeX on Windows. This includes the installation of MikTeX in Windows. In all the spoken tutorials that I have created so far, the length of the recorded tutorial is exactly equal to the actual time that I spent on the computer. The current tutorial, however, involves demonstrations that require network access. Some of the downloads could take a lot of time, especially if the bandwidth is low. As a result, I will pause the recording when required. You can see a file that uses Beamer class. You can see it here. In case you don't know about Beamer, you may want to see the spoken tutorial on Beamer that I have created. Let me compile this file by pressing Ctrl and F7 keys simultaneously. MikTeX complains that Beamer is missing. I will explain how to address this problem. The first thing is to update MikTeX. You may do this in two ways, as I show now. Press Start, go to Programs. In MikTeX, there are two options. One is Update Directly, the other is through Browse Packages. One can go to Update, and one can select, for example, a remote package repository. I generally use INRIA. In fact, last time I used this, so it gives this as an option. In the beginning, however, you will see only these two buttons. Use the nearest package repository, and the other one is, let me choose a remote package repository. Supposing we try this. Before that, we also need to set up connection settings. Connection settings have to be set first. So we use a proxy server, address, port. It requires authentication, so I put a click here. So now if I choose this, it will come and say give the name and password. So I enter this information. Okay. So I can, for example, use anything that I choose that I am comfortable with. So this is already selected. So let me select it. Now the update process will take time because it has to download the entire package information. In view of this, I will do a pause of the recording. After about 5 minutes, it comes back and says that there are currently no updates available because I just updated. Otherwise, what it will do is it will give a list of packages and it will recommend the packages to be checked. When I did first time, I found that all the packages had been listed, all packages had been selected. Then I just go and say update the whole thing. You don't have to do this update every day. You may just want to do it once in a while. Alright. So this is one. Let's just go back. Okay, I can go back once more. Now, of course, it is also possible to update through a CD, DVD distribution, or within your neighborhood. If you have a local package repository, you can use that as well. Okay, let me just cancel this. Alright, we still haven't explained how to include Beamer. What we did by update is to make our MikTeX distribution current. Now I told you that there are two ways to do that. There is a second way which I will point out. Let's go to Programs, MikTeX. In that, browse packages. This also takes a little bit of time, a few seconds to load. It gives a list of all the known packages. When it was packaged, this column is extremely important. It says whether this package is available on your system. So let's just go back and see, go down and see whether Beamer is available. So you can see that Beamer, this column is blank, suggesting that we don't have Beamer. Alright, before we proceed with this, let us first go to the task, update wizard. We see the identical page that we saw a little earlier. You can do the same thing. You can set the connection, make sure that your connection, your proxy, everything is okay, and then choose the package that you like and then go ahead. Because we are not going to do the updating now, we will not follow this. You have to keep in mind that it's likely that some of the remote sites may be down. Typically you may have to try a few of them until it actually works and until you become comfortable. Once you are comfortable, you may keep using it repeatedly. Alright, let me cancel this. Right now what we want to do is we want to, let me select this. The moment I selected this, this got activated. Now if I say install, it says that this installation will be updated, one package will be installed. Let's just do that. Alright, it comes and says proxy authentication is required. Let's close this. Here we have to, okay, I think it is just refreshing this. It takes a little while. What we will do is we have to go to this repository, change package repository. We have to do this once again, connection setting, so it's already there. Okay, and it also wants the password, so let's give this. Okay, so India is already selected. Let me finish with this. After a few minutes, I get this error message that something cannot be updated. So it doesn't matter. What we will do is, let's see whether we can install it anyway. Let's go to Beamer is here. Let's select this, press this. Alright, now it starts to install. Let me pause. It took a few minutes and downloaded Beamer, so we can close this. Now let's and also of course let's just check. For example, it is now updating this page. Let it update. In the meantime, let's come here and try to compile it using Control F7. Okay, I'm not sure what we did to the old one. I think this is something we have to cancel. Now, okay, so this is the result of the recent compilation. Okay, let me just, to make it clear, let's close this and do Control F7. Previously we got the complaint that Beamer was not found. Now it says that something else is not available. It doesn't complain about Beamer any longer. Why is, if you go down and check Beamer, scroll down to Beamer and you can see that it got installed on 5th of November. Alright, so what we will do is the following. Let's look at this complaint, and actually this gives an option to install it directly. So we have two ways of doing it. One is to install it here, the other one is to go through this. Let's see what happens when we try this. It asks for authentication. Unlike the previous technique, that is when we went through this, where it showed the copying and so on, now the whole thing happens in the background. So let's wait for some time. Alright, it downloaded that. Now it says that xcolor.sty is missing. Should it install? We'll say go ahead, and it is installing it in the background. Alright, now it says that translator is missing. Let's install that as well. So after that, even after several minutes, nothing else has appeared. Let's just go here and see what the current status is. Let's do a reset here, and then we will just check whether the packages that we try to install are already installed. You can see that Beamer is already here, as we saw. Now we'll have to see the other things, namely PGF code, Xcolor, and translator. Alright, it has come back. Just go and see. You can see that PGF is installed today. Then we are looking at translator. Translator also is installed. Of course, Xcolor is the other one. Let's verify that also. Xcolor, it also got installed. So it looks like we have all the packages. Now let's compile now. Control F7. Alright, seems to be going through. Okay, what we will do is, let's now close this, no longer need this. I will open the file that I created. So it is in LaTeX files, and the file is called MikTeX Update.tex. So I'm looking at MikTeX Update.pdf. This is the file that I'm looking at. So let me just open this with Sumatra. Alright, so here we are. Let me make this slightly smaller. Take it here. See what happens when we make it bigger. Alright, becomes bigger. When we close this, of course you can see this date is 4th November. I was trying to do this yesterday also, and it didn't work yesterday. So what I will do is I'll change this to 5th. Save it. Control F7. Alright, it has updated. Let's go down. So here is the acknowledgement about this spoken tutorial. Funding to create this tutorial has come from the National Mission on Education through ICT. The website for this mission is sakshat.ac.in. I would like to receive your feedback on this spoken tutorial at kannan@iitb.ac.in. We plan to coordinate the spoken tutorial activity in the future through spokentutorial.org. I just want to point out that many of the updates took, many of the installation of individual packages didn't take very much time, maybe a couple of minutes. But the initial update could take a lot of time. For example, here I'm using MikTeX 2.7, and if I try to update it the very first time, it could take about 20 minutes or even half an hour. So it depends on what version of MikTeX you have. It could take some time to update. Initially it could take a little bit of effort. After that, if you have reasonable network, individual packages should not take too much time. So with this I come to the end of this tutorial. Thank you for joining us, and goodbye.